And we are going to start with the fallout from that massive winter storm that stranded thousands of drivers along I-95 in Virginia, some for more than 36 hours.
What a nightmare. In a moment, Al's going to tell us about the freezing temps and more possible storms that could make for another rough go of it today. But let's start with NBC's Tom Costello in Arlington with the very latest. Tom, good morning to you.
Yeah, just an utter disaster out on the roads. The good news, I-95 is flowing again this morning, that critical artery here on the East Coast. They finally got it open last night at about 9 o'clock, but then guess what happened? All those people finally got off I-95 after being stuck for more than 24 hours in some cases, but now they're stuck on all the side roads. Route 1 backed up for another 7, 8, 9 hours. So here's I-95 this morning, courtesy of Virginia Department of Transportation, flowing well after people were stuck 24 plus hours, no food, no water, no restrooms, many of them running out of fuel. They had to abandon their cars. How could this happen? Thousands of drivers in Virginia trapped for 20-plus hours in frigid temps along a nearly 50-mile stretch of the East Coast's busiest highway, I-95. State officials blame a perfect storm of conditions, including rapidly decreasing temperatures and an enormous amount of snow in a short period of time.
The snowfall rates were 2 to 3 and even 4 inches per hour.
All of it coupled with several inches of ice kept tow trucks from being able to move those multiple jackknifed big rigs blocking traffic. Andrew Stein spent 27 hours in his car, sleeping in it overnight.
Abandoned cars everywhere. People either ran out of gas or got stuck in the snow.
He, like many others, forced to decide between saving gas and staying warm. For those able to leave their cars, many gas stations were out of fuel or without power. As cars slowly started to clear the interstate late Tuesday, local roads became overwhelmed with traffic. Vanya Messiah and her 2 young children in the car. She feared the worst as the temperatures fell, even asking first responders passing by for help.
I was begging her. I was like, can you please just take my kids? You don't need to take us. Just take my kids, please. I kept thinking, they're going to die in this cold.
That EMS worker brought Messiah and her family to his ambulance where they managed to get some rest.
26 and a half hours.
Virginia Senator Tim Kaine's typically 2-hour journey from Richmond to D.C. took more than a day.
I had 1 orange and 1 Dr. Pepper. That was the entire nutrition consumed in the 26 and a half hours.
One bright spot, a local bakery truck that was stuck with everybody else, passed out bread to hungry folks in dozens of cars. One thankful woman called it one of the kindest moments she has ever witnessed. Imagine if you're stuck in that traffic for hours with your kids or you've got an elderly relative. It was an absolute disaster. The governor of Virginia asked why didn't he call out the National Guard. He said, listen, we had the manpower. It would have taken up to 24 hours to get the National Guard mobilized. And then what? I-95 in that stretch has very few off-ramps. How would you get the National Guard into the middle of I-95 which is just bumper to bumper? Just really an epic meltdown. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, absolutely. Tom, thank you very much.
Let's bring in Mr. Roker now because it looks like there's even more nasty stuff on the way. On the drive in this morning, there were cars that hit skidded out.
That's right. We've got an icy condition. Look at this. Coast to coast, a winter blast for 70 million people right now for winter weather alerts from the Pacific Northwest all the way to the Mid-Atlantic, Northeast, and parts of the Appalachians as well. You can see we've got another big storm coming into the Pacific Northwest. Right now, though, we've got light snow stretching from Duluth, Minneapolis, all the way to Green Bay. And we've also got this activity, just as Craig was just talking about, we've got a light glaze of ice possible this morning. As we go in, you can see the temperatures right at freezing, and especially those overpasses, they're going to be icing up, so you got to be very, very careful. Next system we're worrying about tomorrow, low pressure developing along the Gulf Coast. It's going to be bringing rain and snow, making its way toward the Mid-Atlantic. But look at this, Nashville, Knoxville, Charleston, Charleston, Louisville, all looking at snow. We're talking about maybe 2 to 6 inches of snow, especially in some of the upper elevations tomorrow. Then we move Thursday into Friday. Thursday night into Friday, this coastal low forms off the coast. It makes its way off the Carolinas, and the storm center tracks well offshore. But depending on the track, we are looking at anywhere from down in the mountains, West Virginia, upwards of 6 inches of snow, but lighter amounts as you get along the coast. But this could change. We're going to be watching this carefully. The one thing we are pretty sure of around the Great Lakes, heavy snow, lake effect snow warnings for Buffalo. We're talking anywhere from 8 to 16 inches of snow from Watertown all the way up to Marquette. So we're going to be watching a very changeable system over the next 48 hours. Guys?
All right, busy times, Al. Thank you.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.